Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
It's the chemicals, really.
Right, okay, chemicals. Mercury would be one of them.
Which one?
Mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah.
No. No, I can tell you there's no mercury in the human body.
Is there none?
I mean, there's one or two more obvious ones. For example, the ones we breathe. You can think of.
Yeah.
We have a lot of. What do we breathe?
The air. Oxygen.
Oxygen. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's go with that one because the 61% of our body.
Yeah.
Is made up of oxygen. 61% of the space in our body is oxygen. Now, it's a very lightweight, almost weightless, odorless gas. But the reason, I suppose, we don't, if it's 61% of it filling us up, the reason we don't float around like balloons is because it's usually messing around with, or it's paired up with hydrogen, which takes up another 10%. So together, 71% of us is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, which is, I guess, nearly 3/4. Now, do we know what hydrogen and oxygen make?
Hydrogen and oxygen would make carbon dioxide?
No, good guess. But in fact, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. And this is a bit of a quirk of nature because they are both very, very lightweight, odorless gases, right? They weigh virtually nothing in that form. But together they make water, H2O, of course. They make water. It's a quirk of nature, isn't it? Because 2 very lightweight gases making a surprisingly heavy material. And if you've ever tried to pull a paddling pool full of water across the grass, you'll know how heavy water is. Even getting your sort of wet stuff out of the washing machine, you realise how heavy the clothes are compared to when you put them in. So water is a very, very strange result of those 2 gases coming together. Now the other ones that make up those 6 are nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, carbon. That's in there as well. So those 6 account for over 99%. A couple of others, well, we have some tin and copper in us, which you wouldn't think, would you? But sort of parts per million or parts per billion, various amounts. Others, one called molybdenum, and it's actually used in the making of steel, which is incredible. The reason for that is this molybdenum has a melting point of 2,500 degrees or thereabouts, and a boiling point of 4,500. So it doesn't liquefy, and alloy steel, which is a mixture of iron and carbon, is joined together with this incredibly strong molybdenum. Well, that helps us in our bodies as well, because it's found in food, things like beans, peanuts, beef liver, stuff like that. So we absorb that. And what it does for us, actually, very important metal that's actually carrying out a very vital function for us. But you wouldn't think a metal that goes into steel making would be in our bodies. Another one is chromium. You know, we see chrome on cars sometimes, don't we? And that is, again, a very hard metal. And that is generally used for, just trying to think what that one's used for. Yeah, it sort of regulates blood sugar. It helps the insulin production. So, again, very vital parts of making a human being. Okay, so that's where we are. 6 of these gases, chemicals, making up the vast majority of our body. Now, the strange thing about it all is that they then try to cost what these things would cost. How much would it cost to make Benedict Cumberbatch? Now, they said the oxygen would be about £9 to fill the body. They said the hydrogen about £10. The nitrogen, I think they said, was £1, but then it gets a bit more expensive. So I don't know how this will, it doesn't equate at all with the American version of it or what the biology teacher said. The carbon, there's £30 worth, that's weight, so just over 2 stones of carbon in us, and that will cost about £44,000. These were figures from 2013. Now, the remaining ones, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, another £47,000. So what they ultimately found was that to build Benedict Cumberbatch, or a replica of him, would cost about £97,000. So what do you make of that? Do you think that is reasonable to build a replica human being?
I think I have questions.
I thought you might have a question. Ask me a question. Go on.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.